All right, Marco, I'm excited to dive into the Warrior Dad experience. So, starting first and foremost, what's family background dynamic, kind of work, what's going on in your world?
Okay, cool. So I'm holding down currently two jobs, two full-time jobs. I've got two beautiful little boys, both 5 and 7. My wife works officially part-time, but it feels like full-time. So we're both working a lot. Unfortunately, because of the nature of my job, I'm away a lot. I'd say on average, probably a week a month. And that, of course, as you would suspect, it does impact the family dynamics.
Gotcha.
So it can be a little bit complicated, but we're, I would say, quite a tight little family unit. We've also got the benefit of having some of the grandparents around, which helps.
Okay.
But we try not to impose too much and not to lean on them too much, and be as autonomous as possible.
Gotcha. Okay. So, you got two jobs, two young boys growing, family dynamic. You jumped into the Warrior Dad experience. What was, some of the reasons why you jumped in to the program?
I think one of the big ones was, well, for starters, I think it doesn't matter how good you think you are, you can always improve. And I know I was totally conscious of the fact that I had ample margins of improvement. So I wanted to get into anything that would make me a better dad, potentially a better husband and a better person. And I think what really resonated with me was also some of the stuff you were pushing out on social media about how it only takes one dad to change a whole family tree. And I want to be that dad. I want to be that person. I would like to put at the feet of my boys knowledge and experience that I've only learned, perhaps in the last 5 or 10 years. Unquestionably, a lot of the stuff that I've learned during the course is helping me significantly. And it's just really exciting to be able to potentially give this to them now. And I'm totally aware that, some of the things that we discuss and we approach might be a little bit over the top for a 5-year-old. But
Mm-hmm.
already to hear him talking about these things, seeing dad do these things, I think, it plants the seeds early, and he might not get it all now, but he will get it as he grows up, and and I think he'll catch on to it a lot more because he's been exposed to it for a lot longer. My 7-year-old's already starting to, talk about things that we've discussed when we sit down at the table. They both say, "Hey, so can we talk about our good, better, best? Can we, can I go first? Can I go second?" It's just exciting to see them already so much further ahead than what I ever was.
Yeah, I love that, and I love how you're giving them those strategies, tactics, tools to thrive, and love where your head was at for jumping in. Right, there's always opportunities to get better. So you shared some of the results through the experience through the program. What were some of the other highlights that really stuck with you and stick out that you want to share?
Uh, Unquestionably, one of the greatest moments, personal moments, was I think we're probably even 3 weeks into the course when my 7-year-old just out of nowhere came up to me and just hugged me and said, "You're the best dad in the world." Don't believe that for a minute, but just to hear him say that meant the world to me, and continues to motivate me to continue trying to chase that version of myself that I want to be. I'll never get there, but I want to keep chasing that person down, and getting those, those micro moments, as you call them, those just gives you the fuel to keep pushing. And as you say all the time, show up every single day as a dad. It doesn't matter how tired you are. You've come home from a long trip at, kind of on the late side, but still doing the evening routine so that you're setting yourself up for success with your kids the next morning when they wake up. There were so many things I really enjoyed out of the course. One thing that was particularly helpful was the accountability within the group.
Mm-hmm.
It's that I've definitely been guilty of starting things and then maybe dropping off after a couple of weeks. But having, a group that was continuously checking in really helped me a lot. I'm now at a point where if I don't do the routine, it just doesn't feel right. The day doesn't sit well with me. I feel like I've got an itch that I haven't scratched yet. And I do find the routine very useful in keeping me healthy by body and mind. It really motivates me, gives me a feeling of accomplishment already early in the morning, and is a real driver for me for the rest of the day. I also really appreciate the fact that you've done all the hard work for us. I have read some, fathering techniques, etc. but I'd be lying if I thought I was anywhere near the amount of research that you've done. So you really have saved me a lot of time and brought back to me those key concepts that I've actually found very useful. What else? I've already mentioned the protocols, but it's also a really great forum just to bounce ideas off one another, to hear also the struggles of other dads, and your personal struggles have been extremely inspiring and motivating for me as well. And just a place where, you know, we can ask questions, where we can get different perspectives. That's been extremely useful. But yeah, the motivation as well has been really, really important. I think you said it first in the first week or the second week, how motivation generates, action generates motivation.
Right.
I've been one of those that's always thought it's the other way around. And it really rammed home the point that if I just wait to feel like it, I'll be waiting a long time, and that it's so important to get myself moving, and that will get me generated. And again, that brings me back to the protocol, which getting that movement in the morning really gets me fired up for the rest of the day. So yeah, I feel like I've benefited significantly from this course, and I'm grateful to you for it.
I'm grateful to you for jumping in as well. Love those results. What would you say to a dad who's considering the Warrior Dad experience? What would be your advice to him?
Go for it. Don't hesitate. You will learn a lot, also about yourself, and it will establish routines that you will find fruitful, and that will just help you so much also with setting the right example for your little ones. And as I've said, it doesn't matter how young they are. When they see you doing these things, when they hear you saying these things, even though you think it doesn't register, it really does. Another thing that I think I may have already mentioned, the notes. I was writing those things for a couple of weeks, and it just felt like, particularly with the little one, I wasn't going anywhere. And then one day I must have written something that resonated with him. For 3 days in a row, he kept asking me about that note. And now if I don't give them a note, they feel like they're missing out. They come to me and ask me for the notes. So the course really gives you so much, and it really does help set the direction for your boys and girls, depending what you have. And it's just never too early. Never too early.
Love it. Marco, thanks so much.
Thank you, mate. Really appreciate it.